Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you wherever you are around the globe on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, right here in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful Monday morning indeed. After all, we've gotten the 3 points. You know, whenever you win the game, you wake up in the morning, it looks good. The feeling is great. Though the match wasn't convincing. Yes, it is one of those games that from the onset, I was confused. From the onset, when the game started, from the very first minute, I was confused. Though it ended 1-0 in Chelsea's favor, thanks to Cucurella. Cucurella, as we speak, dear friends, let me say, he is contending for Chelsea's player of the season. Yes, this guy is contending for player of the season. Chelsea's Premier League player of the season. He is contending for that. He and Caicedo and maybe Enzo Fernandez. I know most of you guys will agree with me. You see, right now, as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea are fourth on the league table. That's a good thing. But how we played the game from the very onset, from the very beginning, I wasn't comfortable sitting watching the match throughout the 90 minutes. I was never comfortable, especially the first half. And you know why? This is how we started the match. Chelsea started with this, first 11. The moment I saw the starting 11, I'm like, my goodness, there is something happening somewhere. We started with Sanchez in a goal post when we were all expecting Philip Jorgensen. All of a sudden, our coach has switched back again to Sanchez. You are creating confusion among the players, honestly. Sanchez back in goal post. Meaning that maybe Philip Jorgensen made one or two mistakes and quickly we are falling back on Sanchez. Listen, both are an error in this Chelsea squad. Let's call a spade a spade. Now, then we have Fofana. I'm like, praise God. I want to see Fofana. And not just Fofana, I also wanted to see Romeo Lavia coming in second half, at least to have match fitness before going to meet Arsenal next weekend. But unfortunately, I didn't see Romeo Lavia. But seeing Wesley Fofana play football like someone who has been consistent, he didn't show any sign of fatigue. Tiredness or weakness. That like a player that has been off the field or that have not played competitive football in the past 1 to 2 months. He didn't show any sign of that. He played normal, full strength. And hey, so I saw Fofana. I was happy about it. I also saw Tosin. And I saw Cowell. My only challenge here was Cowell. That he was the only problem I have in my defense. Because he seems not to be maturing for my liking. Maybe, as Fofana is back, maybe we'll begin to see the best out of Cowell as well. But in the lineup, as Fofana, Tosin, Cowell, then Caicedo, then we saw Cucurella, Sancho, Palmer, Enzo, and Christopher Nkunku. Then we saw Neto. Now, looking at this critically, I was expecting to see Cucurella inverting. But Cucurella did not inverted. He was playing the right wing, adding extra man to our attacking. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea attack with 6 players. We attack with six players, which made me to get more confused when the game was ongoing. We had 6 players attacking, and I was lost along the line because I didn't know the formation we were playing. When I tried to draw the line, I'm not getting it clear. I wasn't getting it. We were attacking the 6 players, and do you know why the coach did that? Let me tell you why he did that. Leicester used to play 4 at the back. But all of a sudden, they played with 5 at the back. They had their defense well set up with 5 men. 5 playing from behind. So, I'm not too sure if it's the reason why Maresca chose to go with 6 to counter the 5 men of Leicester. And we struggled. The first half, it looks like we were not prepared. And I understand, in a way, we played against Copenhagen. all the way in Denmark in two days before this game, on Thursday night. And then on Sunday, we were facing a Premier League side, Leicester, struggling to avoid relegation. A team that is struggling to avoid relegation is the team that Chelsea faced. And dear friend, make no mistake. Make no mistake. I am happy with the result. 3 points, we got it. The reason, you see, last season, in March, April, just like this same time, Chelsea played 2-2 draw against a relegated Burnley and Sheffield United. Two teams that were struggling to, they were almost going on relegation. Two teams that were struggling, just like Leicester. And we played 2-2 draw with them. 2-2 draw. So if this time around we're able to get a 3 points, not 1 point, then we should be happy about it. Because whenever a team is fighting to get out of relegation zone, these 10 games that remain, Leicester could be out of the relegation zone if they can win, or if they can get the 30 points from the next 10 games. If they can get the 30 points from the next 10 games, they can easily get out of the relegation zone. They can get out of the relegation zone. Dear friends, now, I was watching a game as the game progresses. The game kept progressing. First half. And ladies and gentlemen, you see, as God may have it, for us not to be reliant on individual players. Oh yes, God didn't want Chelsea to be reliant on individual players. And so, we got a penalty and almighty Cole Palmer. Almighty Cole Palmer to take the penalty. Oh yes, listen, you cannot blame Cole Palmer. It happens to every footballer. And when it comes to the kick, he actually kicked the ball to the last pole. But let's give credit to the goalkeeper of Leicester. Leicester goalkeeper, let's give him credit. And Cole Palmer actually needed that goal to boost his own morale. Unfortunately, it was saved. And in fact, from that moment, I got more confused because our system of play, we were not getting the ball any longer. Leicester was all over the place. The fight, the zeal for Leicester players was evident. Though we were at the bridge. Yes. You see, in the second half, the only player that I have an issue with, throughout the game, let me point out, throughout the 90 minutes of play, yes, that I have an issue with Christopher Nkunku. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to find a way to ship out this guy. He's not playing for the badge any longer. No. Even Jadon Sancho yesterday showed some kind of, effort. But Christopher Nkunku seems not to be working out. I don't know what again we need to do. If it's the system, I don't know. But if there's any player that in our attacking setup we need to let go, I have come to my conclusion that we need to ship out Christopher Nkunku. He's the player we saw last season, and he's the reason why we didn't sign another striker last season. Thinking he could work together with Nicholas Jackson. But it didn't work out because of injury. This season that he's fit, I would have expected him to be more up and doing. But it's quite disappointing. You've gotten an opportunity to prove a point. Now Nicholas Jackson is injured. Maguire is injured. It's an opportunity for Christopher Nkunku to step up, to make... Look at it. Okay. For those of you who might not like what I'm saying, look at Pedro Neto. Even with a cut on the head, he was still everywhere. The man was bleeding, yet the man was everywhere on the pitch. Pedro Neto was everywhere on the pitch. In yesterday's game, let's be honest with ourselves, Christopher Nkunku is nowhere to be found in the game. But Pedro Neto and Cucurella, these two, They made the game for Chelsea yesterday. Pedro Neto and Michael Grella, these two. Caicedo, in fact, praise the Lord. Yes, he avoided the yellow card. Means that against Arsenal next weekend, Caicedo will be involved. I was just praying and hoping that there will not be any silly challenge from him. He will get, if you watch, he was quiet, but yet he still got the job done. There was no harsh tackle as usual, as always. As a matter of fact, that is why it seems like Leicester, they've had a bit of the midfield play. Yes, Leicester, they play most of their games through the midfield. Because Caicedo wasn't really, aggressive like he used to be. Why? Because he tried to avoid the yellow. In all, it ended 1-1. 1-0, dear friend. It ended 1-0. And the good news is that we are in the top 4. We are in the top 4. Chelsea 1, Leicester 0. You see, it's an important win for us. It's an important win for us. Thanks to Cucurella's, brilliant shot. Brilliant shot. Yes. Now, Chelsea, we are not able to find a bit of quality when it comes to no room, no way out. No room, no way out. They defend so deep with the low block, and there was no room, no way out. We are beginning to learn to shoot from far. Last game, we saw it, and this time around, we saw it. In fact, we saw it against Copenhagen. Shooting from far distance. Even Cole Palmer was unlucky. One of the shots that he played, though it was almost off target, way above the goalpost, but it was a good shot. We want to be seeing such shots from far distance if we cannot penetrate. And there's one thing also that I noticed. This is my post-match reaction. I'm about to run up. One thing also that I noticed is that we are not in the basketball kind of system any longer. That tic-tac of football from our goalkeeper, we play few seconds we are there. No. Looks like our new system is to hold on with the ball. Take our time to build. For me, it's quite boring. It's boring because like we are playing the ball backwards too much. It's quite boring for my liking. But it looks like that is a system we are now beginning to adapt. What do you think? Let me hear from you guys in the comment section. I understand it's been a while I read your comment out, but trust me, later this afternoon when I'm coming back, I will come with all your comments. So let me hear from you in the comment section, dear friends. I am about to run up. It's my post-match reaction. What else? What do you think? It ended. Chelsea 1, Leicester 0, and we are back into the top 4 with 2 points ahead of City. 2 points ahead of City. This time going forward, the next 10 games are very critical. Champions League football is at stake. In fact, 2 points ahead of City, right? And then how many points? I think 2 points below third place, Nottingham Forest. I need to confirm that also. We can still be third at the end of the season. And let's fight. Let's get there. Third position. Let's fight and let's get there. Arsenal versus Manchester United ended 1-1. For me, this shows that Chelsea can fight to win against Arsenal. We can win against Arsenal. Though it's away game, we can win against them. Dear friends, remember on Thursday, Chelsea Copenhagen before we face Arsenal over the weekend. Preparations, I believe from tomorrow. Yeah, today should be a day for, a resting day for the players. But I believe from tomorrow, the players will be back. We'll start preparing towards the game for Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back with more analysis later today, later in the afternoon. I want to hear from you in the comment section, dear friends. Yes, let me hear from you. I'll be sure to read your comments in the next hours to come. See you guys. Shalom and peace.